religious and followers according to the indications of the church, and they are more and more religious in their own way. There is a tendency towards individualization of the faith and selective treating of church teaching.
I realize how very important is this exchange and dialogue between the sociologists and the people they are working in the church, between the people they have their researches and people they have their practical experiences. There are some similarities among our four countries, something what is very typical for the mentality of our nations, but there are also many specific features. And in all countries there are so-called dwellers and seekers, and also the apatheists, the people they have no interest in religion. And I think we have that common interest that is important for the churches, not just to the traditional pastoral work and the traditional mission, but also the way how to help the developing of the society, how to be useful for the society as a whole.
Hello, my name is Rafał Paswa. I'm a theologian, a Catholic priest and bioethics, and also journalist, chief redactor of Lubelski Gość Niedzielny. I'm very glad that I'm here. I'm concentrated of media-influenced faith, and our group from Poland concentrate also of our problems, and we hope that this meeting leads new understanding on faith, church and community. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Susanna Burger from Budapest, from Hungary. I am the coordinator of the Hungarian group. Today meeting was very fascinating, and I could learn quite a lot from the presentations and from the comments. The presentation were very impressive because each four country could express what kind of differences we have among different countries, and the comments could talk about the reflections, especially from Hungarian nuns and Czech priests and any others. They could talk about their problems and their reflections, and we can change our opinions and our hope for futures. Which I learned today, it is very simple. I realized again we have same or similar problems inside of the Catholic Church and outside of the Catholic Church or any other churches, and these groups is fantastic for me because everybody have a courage to make this world, fragmented world, better, and that's why I like to be here, and I like that.
My name is Pavel Bargar from a Slovak national team. In my presentation at the third colloquium, I suggested that in our Christian, in our theological thinking about the church today, we should consider three principles. The first one is the incarnational principle as a hermeneutic way of being the church today. In other words, following the logic of God who is encountering the humankind today, the church should also come out to its fellow human others and accompany them on the way, on our common way of humankind, of humanity. The second principle that I proposed was the mission from the margins. That is the need for decentering the church and including also people who have been traditionally marginalized because they were not able to fit the traditional spirituality of the churches. That in my understanding, the church should be a platform for meeting, for encounter and dialogue among various individuals and communities. And the third principle I proposed was a church as an alternative community. That is, church being part of the society, but going beyond the logic of both entrepreneurship and Christendom. That is, of both trying to be successful and effective in a business kind of way, on one hand, and on the other hand, of trying to think that the situation has changed, that we have no more of this fusion between church and state, that we must think about the new situation. Thank you.
I focus in my presentation on the longue durée historical experiences, not only from Hungary, but from the other countries of this special region, Central Europe as well. And I think that in the focus of the identity is the victimhood. Victim from the Eastern and Western big cultural and political hegemonies. And I argued for a changing of the meaning with biblical terms for metanoia. Metanoia to focus not only on the own wounds, historical and cultural wounds, but to the wounds of the others as well. And I think that the social teaching of the Catholic Church can offer for this turn in meaning very important motivations.
My name is Dariusz Wadowski. I came from Lublin, from Catholic University of Lublin. We have presented on this colloquium some data from sociological analysis on religiosity and religion in Poland, and we have the big opportunity to understand the differences between Polish situation and situation in Slovakia, Czech Republic and Hungary. We understood that the problems with religion and religiosity or belonging in the church in Poland are not very unique. There are some similarities between our countries, and we all have to make some decision about open work with seekers and dwellers which are in our churches. Thank you.
Hello, I am Sister Teresia Szusznik from the Community of the Beatitudes in Budapest. For me, working with people that are searching for God, working with people that know God but that want to go profounder in their relationship with God is my work, and today was very inspiring for me. One part to see that the dwellers and the seekers, those who believe and those who don't believe yet but are searching for something, that actually both groups are very important for the church and we should be able to reach out to both of them. And probably that the differences between the two groups are not so profound as we may think. To reach out to believers and bring them to reality, bring them closer to what is actually the truth, and bring them maybe work with them on wrong pictures and images of God, wrong pictures and images of man. is the same approach then reaching out to searchers who are not actually believing but may have a lot of pictures about God, about church, about themselves. And if we can reach them there, then the place where we are talking about the gospel, where we are talking about God, is much wider all of a sudden. It was very inspiring to hear from a scientific point of view that sociologists are seeing the same questions, the same problems, the same questions than we experience in our practical work with people.
As a priest working in a Prague suburb, I'm very thankful for this meeting and for the contributions. The topic which was present here, or one of the topics presented here, was the change of the church. And I think this topic very interesting also for my pastoral work in a parish. But the way how the church should change isn't clear. And I think it was obvious also here that it could be that this is somehow necessary way, but also a danger. And to look how to be a better church, to look how to come out to people who are not inside, and how to be also for those who are inside is very important for us. So I am very glad that I could be here.